Hello Walker County, thank you so much for joining us for this segment of Smart Growth Walker County. I'm Larry Brooks, great to be with you with this section. We've got David Ashburn, who many of you recognize, who's been here on different occasions. Here he is talking with us about his role as General Manager of the Walker County Water and Sewage Authority. Very, very interesting conversation with David, so stay tuned. I know that there's going to be a lot of information that you'll want to hear, so sit back and enjoy this segment, and again, thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to this segment of Smart Growth Walker County. I'm joined today by David Ashburn. He is the General Manager, amongst other things, of the Walker County Water and Sewage Authority. Am I saying that correct, David?
That's correct. That's
fantastic.
The official name.
All right. Well, we certainly appreciate having David. I know that many of our viewers have actually seen him in other segments that we've done. But as I said just a few moments ago, David wears a lot of hats, and so we're just excited to have him today. And David, welcome.
Well, good to be here.
Well, what we have brought you in today to talk about is obviously the Water Authority. I know a lot of people don't really understand the difference between it and sort of it being autonomous from the county, and we just wondered if you could kind of explain that.
Sure. The Walker County Water Authority, one of the biggest misconceptions is they think it is Walker County government, and it's not. The Water Authority is an independent entity that is self-supporting. The money that we make, we put back in. Nobody makes a profit off the Water Authority.
And the money that you're referring to would be the fees.
Fees,
people,
right,
sure.
that is collected for water, sewer, that type stuff. The county set it up. Originally, it was a department of the county, and then Roy Parrish made it an independent authority, similar to what Hutchinson Hospital was with the 3 counties, a same type situation. The commissioner appoints the board members, and there's a 5-member board that meets once a month to discuss and set the policies and procedures for the water department or the water authority and move forward. But we are not in the profit business. What money comes in is used to improve and sustain the existing system throughout Walker County. Now, Walker County is different than a lot of places because we have 9 water companies in Walker County, and the Walker County Water and Sewage Authority is only one of the 9.
Okay.
So that's different. Most counties or places will have 1, maybe 2, but that's it.
So when you're talking about the 9, it would be like with the city of Lafayette, Tennessee American Water,
Chickamauga,
sure.
Tryon, Trenton, Whitfield County, Catoosa County, all those different places.
And just for clarity, the Walker County Rural Water is not you guys, right?
They're an authority too, but they're an authority similar to what North Georgia Electric is.
I see. Okay.
The board members of that organization are elected by the end users.
Okay.
They are the ones that theoretically own that water company.
Okay, so for those of you that have asked, and I've had people who have asked through the years, again, two separate entities. Tell us where you guys actually offer the service that you guys are over. We
cover the western side of Walker County all the way down to the Cove.
Okay.
We have nothing on Lookout Mountain.
That would be Trenton.
Right.
Okay.
We are in the Villanelle area. We're also in Beverly Hills and Jenkins Road, all that area over through there, over to and around the city of Chickamauga.
And some of our viewers probably are very accustomed to seeing some of the trucks and the crews, especially over in Villanelle right now, as you guys have been working on bringing that system.
Putting in a water system over there. And that was a big area of the county that didn't have domestic water. And we're kind of beginning to move into a drought situation again. We're about 6 inches behind for the year on rain. And that's when they start having problems with wells and stuff. And that's a huge project out there. It's 90 miles of water line.
Well, let's talk a little bit about that, because when we first This was first, the project was was it 2012 or so?
Well, it
10?
started prior to that. The
Okay.
federal government did their typical,
Yeah.
we promised to give you, and we've approved y'all moving forward, and we'll give you $10 million to do this project. And Commissioner High School, as you're aware, worked very hard
Sure, yeah.
at trying to tie that down.
As a matter of fact, I remember on 2 occasions, we actually traveled to Washington DC trying to
That's
figure
correct.
out what had happened to the money.
Well, it's never been, it was approved, but never been appropriated.
Sure.
And so through the splosh, she put some of the funding put it in out there, and then the water company itself did a bond to pay for the rest of it. It is a losing proposition. There's 90 miles of water line out there. The cost to put that in will be $7 or $8 million. There's the potential of 874 customers out there. They're not required to hook up, so if they've got a good well, they'll never hook up until they decide their well's bad or their pump goes bad.
But of course, in recent years, not the last couple, I think, but there was really harsh conditions as far as drought.
That's what brought it up. The drought that occurred this last time that we had the big drought, people's wells failed and they didn't have water. And so they wanted it. And when people talk about government needs to be a business, the business of putting water in Villa now is a losing proposition money-wise.
Yeah.
I will be dead and they'll still never have generated enough money to pay for the installation of it.
That's right.
But it is what was needed by the citizens. And citizens are there, government should be there to support and protect the citizens.
right.
You know that very well with the transportation
That's right,
system.
yeah.
It costs the county money every year. You never collect enough to pay for it, but it's an essential service to many citizens to guarantee them some level of quality of life.
Well, and that's the same thing with, I guess, the sheriff's department and,
Sure.
and other agencies like that. I mean,
They're
again,
all
it's-
losing.
That's right. There's no way
There's
you can,
no profit
yeah.
in it.
If there were profit, somebody on the business side of
Would be
things
doing
would
it.
be
That
doing
is
it.
correct.
So-
That's correct.
But again, now remind us too. Now the system over there, it's actually tied onto the Somerville system, right? Or the wells are coming out of Somerville.
We do not have a water source over there. So we actually purchase raw treated water from Whitfield County and Chattooga County.
Okay, all right.
So we get some from the bottom and some from the top to
Okay.
make it. So it's even more expensive to us because on the rest of our system, we have our own system, our own wells, and so we pump it, treat it, and send it. That's cheaper than us buying it from some other company. And, you know, if the fire department goes out there to put out a fire and they're using a fire hydrant, that's our water that we're paying for that they're getting for free.
Yeah.
And the people's house that they're putting it on are getting it for free. Even testing the hydrants costs us a lot of money.
Well, since you brought that up, let's mention this real quick because I know a lot of people have questions, and I know that they've heard it talked about, like with the ISO rating. We had Chief Camp on the other day talking about ISO, but help us to understand the way that works with the fire hydrants. I mean, we've seen these coming up throughout the county, and so I mean, how does that
Well,
relate
one
to
of the
ISO?
advantages of Villa now is it will be the best hydrant-oriented part in the unincorporated area in the whole county. Because years ago, we were able to get Commissioner High School to mandate under county ordinance that a 6-inch line be the smallest you put in, and that you put in fire hydrants every so many feet. And Chief Camp and I got together and put 5-inch hose on the fire trucks, every fire truck. And by doing that, we were able to let people be 1,000 feet from a hydrant versus 500 feet.
Sure.
And the beauty of that is that saved the county some $21 million in the purchase and installation of hydrants. Because if you figure how many miles of road exist within the county and you only put half in of what you would have put in, that's huge. And so that area has it. If you're within under ISO, you have to be within, in Walker County, 1,000 feet of the hydrant and 5 miles of the fire station. And that's why we got so many fire stations. A lot of them don't run many calls, but they got to be there to be within that 5 miles
And
for the
again,
people to get the benefit.
There you go. Again, so that people understand what that is, that's your insurance savings.
Right.
That we're talking about. I know that lots of people just assume, or maybe they don't realize that they're actually receiving savings on their
Sure.
insurance.
When we went to
premiums.
the class 3, a lot of people said, well, I didn't get much of a savings. Well, what they didn't figure into it was the fact that their insurance goes up.
That's right.
So instead of going up $200, it went down $20.
Sure.
So that was a $220 savings. We have people right now up on Lookout Mountain that are the Cloudland Station project up there. They're not within 5 miles of a fire station. So they get the Class 8 rating.
Oh, wow.
And those people, they've got $300,000-$400,000 houses,
Yeah.
and they've come to us and says, we'll help buy and put in a fire station because it cost us $4,000 extra a year on their house to pay for Class 8 fire protection versus Class 3.
Wow.
And that's
amazing.
based on the value of the house and stuff.
I know that we don't have a lot of time left, but I know recently you guys went through an inspection process with EPD. Is that
Sure.
correct?
One of the things you
Yeah.
hear people talk about, oh, Flint, Michigan, people are dying from lead in the water and stuff. Well, Walker County Water and Sewer goes through yearly, biannual, and annual inspections by the Environmental Protection Division of Department of Natural Resources. And they came out and inspected us. The water plant, the last time they came out and inspected that and our distribution system. See, on the water side, you pump water and distribute it. On the sewer side, you collect it and dispose of it. You know, it's kind of a different
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
But we received, it was basically a 95 rating.
Oh,
And at the
fantastic.
time we received our score, it was the highest in the state of Georgia. Now, there's been somebody else since then that got one a little higher, but right now, out of all the water companies, and as I just told you, there's 9 in Walker County. That when you think of how many water companies are in the state, and we're one of the top in there,
Yeah.
we're there. We do not have lead pipes.
Well, I started to ask that question since you brought it up. You know, what keeps, you know, those contaminants away from us versus what, you know, Flint, Michigan is dealing with?
Well, their big problem was it's an older area, obviously up north is, and up then they put in a lot of lead pipes.
Yeah.
The thing that was put in earliest down around here were the galvanized
I
pipes.
see, yeah.
And galvanized doesn't put off that toxic lead chemical type thing. The big thing galvanized does is it builds up residue on the inside, and the inside of the pipe gets smaller and smaller and
I
smaller,
see.
so that you lose water volume. And so we have slowly worked to get rid of those pipes within our system too.
One last thing too, I know that you've talked about this before in lots of conversations that we've had, but talk about how that Walker County is sort of split down the middle. Where that is, is it north of Lafayette? That's a part of the Tennessee River
If
basin.
you go west of 27, you know, from the Cove north, that is the Tennessee Basin.
Okay.
If you're to the east of that, that is the Coosa Basin, which flows down through Alabama and on into Florida, which is all tied to being part of that lawsuit that's occurring under the Lake Lanier and all that type thing.
And for our viewers who may not know this, you actually serve on.
I'm the chair of the Coosa North Georgia Water Council, which is put together by the governor and the speaker and the lieutenant governor for the management and regulation of water within the state of
So
Georgia.
I mean, just as we're receiving the benefit of what David does locally, he's also providing you know, his expertise to the state. And of course, you know, we just appreciate having him and having him serving in the roles that you have.
One of the other things that's great about Walker County Water and Sewer is we've got virtually one of the cheapest water and sewer in the state of Georgia and around all over the place. I mentioned the other day and meet with the board about it. Moccasin Bend, about 80% of our sewer goes north up into, as a regional sewer collection system, into Moccasin Bend in Chattanooga. And they have raised their price again on us to $3.43 per 1,000 gallons. We charge our customers $3.50. So right now we're on a margin of 7 cents to collect and pump it to Chattanooga, and that won't pay the electric bill of one of the lift stations for that. And historically, the board has always tried to maintain the lower cost of water, and in doing that, they have used what little is made off water to help support the sewer side, because they're losing money on the sewer. Sewer is the most expensive utility that you can put in out there, and it's huge. And even on the water side, our basic fee is $11, where the most of the rest of the world is 15 or more.
So,
and you get nothing for that.
So are customers looking at the possibility of maybe a rate increase?
Well,
it's
we'll
still
meet with the
something to be
board, but we'll
decided,
see where it stands as a whole. You know, they raised us 58 cents a 1,000 gallons.
Wow.
And in Chattanooga, a resident in Chattanooga pays $8.44 a 1,000 gallons.
So you can really see the
So
difference.
if you take a normal household of average household, they determine uses about 5,000 gallons of water a month. And of that 5,000 in sewer, if you figure our cost and Chattanooga's cost, it's $17.21 cheaper to live in North Georgia on Walker County water and sewer than for just the sewer side, not even to speak of the water side.
Well, that's certainly
And
great.
the water's
news,
cheaper in Tennessee American. Something I do want people to understand is people say, well, gee, I had a leak. The water didn't run in the sewer. Can you help us? The board made the decision that once a year they will look at what your normal sewer bill is and reverse it back to that and discount it. What the customers don't understand for us is we pay Moccasin Bend off the water we sell. So if they've got a $100 water bill and it's a $100 sewer bill and their normal is $20, then we are discounting them $80. But we're paying Moccasin Bend $75 for that $80. So we're actually taking the hit and losing the money, trying
to keep the
again
cost
to
down.
help the
Customer.
taxpayer, the customer. No tax dollars are used to support this.
That's true. Well, David, thank you so much for coming on again with us. We certainly appreciate it. And if they've got questions, if the viewers have questions for you, is there a phone number that they can reach you at? Maybe at the
Sure,
office?
it comes on their bill. The number to the I think it's 820-1455. But it's on there. You can actually pay your bills online now. You need the website's on the back of the bill, and you need your customer number and your PIN number, and both of those are on the bill. And you can go online and pay it right there, and life's great.
Wow, that saves gas and time. Wow.
Now, there is a $3 charge for doing that. But again, the water company doesn't charge that. The company that
it's the
processes it and the software people each take $1.50 per customer. We don't see a dime of that.
I see. Well, there you have it, folks. We appreciate you tuning in. And as David pointed out just a few moments ago, if you've got questions, you can just go and look right there on your bill, and it'll give you the number and how to contact them. So until next time, Walker County, thank you so much for tuning in. Well, there you have it, Walker County. Thank you so much for spending this little bit of time with us. As David mentioned just a few moments ago, you can find contact information on your bill. So if you've got questions, further questions for him, just look on that bill. There'll be a phone number there that you can call. And again, Walker County, until next time, thank you for joining us.